Feng Shui enthusiast, you are free to give this ebook to your friends, family or website visitors. You may also resell this ebook. Here is the cover image link, http://i60.tinabook.com/sg3707.jpg. What is Feng Shui? What is Feng Shui? Simply put, it is an ancient art and science that was developed by the Chinese more than 3,000 years ago. It is a complex body of knowledge that, if practiced properly, will assure the person good health and fortune. Feng Shui is made of two words. The first is wind while the second is earth. Its teachings are based on Taoist vision and understanding of nature, on the belief that the land is alive and is filled with energy. This in turn can make a kingdom successful or bring it to its downfall. Aside from the water and the wind, Feng Shui is influenced by the theory of three other elements, namely wood, fire and metal. It is this that also guides Chinese astrological sciences, including the times, dates of birth and years, as well as colors, seasons, directions and the planets. The main tools for Feng Shui are the compass and the bagua. The bagua is an octagonal-shaped grid containing the symbols of the I Ching, which is the ancient oracle on which this is based. Those who believe in Feng Shui say that those who know the bagua of their home will be able to understand specific areas of their life. The Feng Shui compass is also called Lopan. This is used to access deeper information about a site or a building. It consists of bands of concentric rings arranged around the magnetic needle. Lo means everything and Pan means ball, which can be interpreted as the key to the mysteries of the universe. Through the years, several different schools of Feng Shui have emerged. If you are able to master the basic level, it is said that you will start to see powerful results which could be to your advantage both at home and in business. Those who practice Feng Shui see it as a double-edged sword because it can be mutually productive and also destructive. In a productive cycle, fire produces earth, which produces metal, which produces water, which produces wood, and the fire again. In a destructive cycle, wood destroys earth, which destroys water, which destroys fire, which destroys metal, and then destroys wood. To give you an idea what this all means, let's say you were born on a fire year. Too much water in the home is not good because water destroys fire. On the other hand, if you put a lot of wood and decor into your home, then things will be good because wood produces fire. Aside from that, experts say that you will more likely prosper if you sleep on the south side of the house or apartment. But the ordinary Joe does not have time to understand that. This is why many people these days consult Feng Shui experts when they are building an office or their home. By being able to have someone who understands these cycles, harmony and productivity is achieved. So what is Feng Shui? For those who don't believe in it, simply one way of making sure that you will get good fortune. As for those who take it seriously, it is what creates the essence of life around us. There must always be a harmonious balance between these elements so that you can live a healthy and meaningful life. Concepts behind Feng Shui. Feng Shui is more than just rearranging furniture, it's a lifestyle. And lifestyles involve mindsets or concepts that are prevalent. Feng Shui experts just say no to some things without reason. Most of the things they do come with a line of reasoning that may not necessarily be embraced by many people. Nonetheless, it is still a point of view that, among other things, require careful consideration and thought. So what are the thoughts that prevail on the onset of Feng Shui? Here are just some of these prevalent concepts that a Feng Shui enthusiast or researcher may find useful. Sense of balance. The number one thing that Feng Shui promotes is balance. This balance comes in many forms, in the color arrangement, in the spatial factors, up to the numbers that concern your working space or environment. The balance is more promoted by the 5 earth elements of Feng Shui and the bagua, which is designed symmetrically and with complete reference to the different elements of the earth by Feng Shui standards. The standards of Feng Shui is made customized in every person, but it all boils down to having the right sets of things that complement and balance each other out. Sense of positivity. A sense of positivity is also what Feng Shui promotes. Positive energy is the thing most sought after by people who try to get the services of Feng Shui consultants. This positivism needs to be maintained. Conversely, it wards off all the forms of negative energy that may come in a given space. This is why there are charms that help cure the bad luck in a given place, especially those which have been established without guidance of Feng Shui. A natural inclination for beauty and the things that promote it. Beauty and symmetry and beauty is one of the core concepts of Feng Shui. It appeals to the physically inviting, and also adheres to fighting for beauty and balance in things. Feng Shui, in some ways, is a celebration of beauty in design and other physical elements of the space being designed. Love for your environment. Feng Shui promotes the careful consideration of the environment before establishing places. Good Feng Shui respects the elements of the earth and makes the Feng Shui enthusiast more mindful of their surroundings. They don't just work instantly in any oppressive place, but strive to remove any existing negativities in the environment. Love for self. The love for self is also promoted by Feng Shui. You will detect energy based on what generally feels good to you. Love for self involves not subjecting yourself to oppressive places or harboring negative energies that can be counterproductive to your different activities. Dreaming big and making the environment jive with that dream. Finally, Feng Shui is more anchored on the greater scheme of things. When you have a dream and you intend to fulfill it in numerous ways, the best way to start is to have an environment that embraces those dreams. If you dream big and work hard, but your environment cancels all the things that you are striving for, it will be a very difficult task for you. Feng Shui ensures that there is alignment between the things you want and the things that are manifested in the objects you see every day. Feng Shui Basics. Applying Feng Shui basics in the home need not be that complicated. There are some ways in which this ancient practice can be used to make the home flow with positive energy or Kai. Here are some of the basic Feng Shui practices that you need to know and can easily apply to make your home as well as your life filled with positive Kai. Light, air and Feng Shui. In order to fill your home with good Kai, you may need to have good quality air as well as lighting. In Feng Shui, it is believed that Kai flows through with the help of air as well as natural light. Because of this, it is essential to make use of these two elements to ensure that the home flows with good Kai. To allow the good energy into your home, you would need to open your windows often to let natural air into the home. You can also use air purifying plants or an air purifier at home to make sure that the air remains clean and pure. Also try to allow as much natural light into your home to allow good Kai to fill your home. Unclutter your home. Clutter is a known obstacle to the flow of Kai. It can have an effect on health as well as the overall energy levels and quality of life. Too much clutter can drain your energy as well as impede good energy from flowing into your home or life. Getting rid of the clutter can also help get rid of the negative load that affects your life. By clearing clutter, you are creating a harmonious environment in your home flowing with good energy. Know your Feng Shui birth element. In order to understand better how you can use Feng Shui to achieve a certain balance in your life and home, you might need to know your own birth element. There is a certain element that corresponds to your birth year. Knowing what element you are born with can help you decide on what is the best approach to achieve that certain balance in Feng Shui. You can use your Feng Shui birth element to introduce the different expressions of the element into your home through the use of colors and the balance of the other complementary elements in your life and home. Know your Guan number. According to Feng Shui, each person has his or her own Guan number that corresponds to one's date of birth and gender. The Guan number also tells of each person's energy needs. In the school of Feng Shui called the Flying Stars, people may belong in either one of the energy groups, the East or the West. For the East group, their Guan numbers may either be 1, 3, 4 or 9. For those on the West group, their Guan numbers can either be 2, 6, 7 or 8. You can use your Guan number to determine directions and orientation of structures such as your home or where you face when working in order to ensure good positive energy to flow through. These Feng Shui basics can help you start off in making your life and home flow with good Kai. Earth, metal and fire and Feng Shui. Good Feng Shui means you have a balance of the 5 elements that compose the earth. Conversely, it also involves not having these elements overpower each other. Now, how do we really go about that? The basic principle on Feng Shui is heavily anchored on the 5 elements of the earth. In an ideal system, the 5 elements complement each other in a form of life cycle. If the environment fosters this positive nature that balances the 5 elements of the earth, then prosperity and good luck may not be far off. Ideal system. The ideal system is where water produces wood, wood yields fire, and fire fashions the earth. Then, the earth forms the metal and the metal consequently produces the water. The overbearing and ugly system is when the elements contradict each other. Wood burdens earth, fire destroys metal, earth hampers water, or water kills the fire. If you are able to see the visual properties of these elements, you may find that these arrangements prescribed by Feng Shui also make practical sense, even if you do not necessarily dig the concepts and foundations of Feng Shui. Earth. You don't have to be a geologist to understand good Feng Shui for Earth. Earth is generally composed of ceramics and rocks. If you want a happy home, you must have a good dose of rocks and ceramics strategically placed in tune with the other elements that are present in your home. Lacking an earth, you may find yourself filled with instability and resilience that the earth is generally known for. Metal electronic devices can actually have good Feng Shui as well. They are under the metal category, which not just brings in the technological advancements of this age but also the toughness brought about by metal materials and the different elements of Feng Shui. Make sure that metal is not colliding with fire elements, and this may even hold a practical significance because you wouldn't want any of your electronic devices to catch fire. Waters and fountains and the like form the water aspect of Feng Shui. Just ensure that water complements your metal. Overpowering your home with electronic appliances may actually appeal to the gadget junkie but not to the Feng Shui aficionado. Aside from the fact that water balances metal, you may also find that it has visual appeal if a person finds a Zen fountain in the midst of a sea of gadgets in the home which may be cool in function but not in appearance. Fire candles and fireplaces are good examples of fire elements in Feng Shui. It may appear weird to put a fountain beside a fireplace for it contradicts that purpose, but many a movie had background sets with a fireplace and wooden furniture that is well ideal for a night of romance. Too much fire can actually drown the environment, so be very careful when lighting your environment. In business settings, it may also be advisable to tame down the effects of fire in the office. But, it can be more unleashed in the personal setting, especially in romantic ones. Wood is abundant in many places. Wooden furniture remain to be vantage to the Feng Shui expert. And this does not have to be only in the form of wooden furniture. Just by cultivating a garden in your home, you will be able to bring in a lot of wood that can help you balance the different elements. Advantages of applying Feng Shui in your life. Many people are fascinated with Feng Shui and with many good reasons. While others generally believe that it is just some oriental superstitious set of paradigms on interior design, but that is just part of the extensive definition for Feng Shui. The Feng Shui that we know now is actually comprised of various schools of learning and incorporates the different cultures under which it is housed. The good thing about the different options pertaining to Feng Shui is that even the layman can actually be able to understand and apply it immediately in their homes without having to spend too much. And apart from that, there are other advantages that only Feng Shui can bring if you can actually open up your mind to try it. Advantage number 1. It brings balance to one's life. Have you ever found yourself completely overburdened with clutter and unnecessarily stressed out of your wits? Chances are, you are suffering from a visual imbalance of some sort in your surroundings. Now, the best way to introduce some sense of balance is by incorporating elements that provide you with a sense of control and the outer balance of things. If you are able to get some semblance of balance even in things as menial as your furniture, you are bound to find balance in other aspects equally manageable. Advantage number 2, it helps you become more mindful of the little things. Mindfulness in the little things can actually be a good thing. Some of us tend to be heavily focused on the big things of life that even the minor details like home arrangement and office ergonomics no longer come to play. When these minor aspects of life continue to take a backseat, they tend to accumulate and produce a very stressful environment which can add up to other problems and worries of life. Advantage number 3. It opens up possibilities of meeting new people. Meeting new people is another bonus of being a Feng Shui enthusiast. When you are applying Feng Shui, chances are, you will be able to find another person within your social network who likes the same stuff and can even help you expand your knowledge on Feng Shui, no matter how limited it is to begin with. Advantage number 4. It gives a fresh perspective on things at any given time. A fresh perspective is always welcome. This positive perspective can invite changes for the better. A new way of looking at home arrangement, for example, may actually serve to benefit you in the long run. The fresh perspective brought about by Feng Shui can actually bring about an enrichment of one's mind. Advantage number 5. It invites prosperity and success. The main objective of Feng Shui is to invite all the good things to one's life. Prosperity and success can be more easily within reach, and a positive disposition may be expected if Feng Shui is practiced well. Advantage number 6. It has aesthetic appeal. On top of all the enumerated benefits of Feng Shui, the best would probably be its beauty. The physical appeal of a well-decorated home, interspersed with good Feng Shui techniques, is actually something that you can call a personal heritage that can transcend generations and promote beauty in all aspects, including design of the home and the office. Feng Shui theories today mainly work with the goal to arrange the environment made by humans in certain spots known to have good qi. In order to find this spot, it should be the right location and an access in time based on the accepted theories. In order to understand it better, here are some of the theories that Feng Shui has been known to uphold in its practice. Qi. The qi, pronounced as kai, is a difficult word to understand and is usually left as it is, without translation. In the most literal sense, the word means air. In today's Feng Shui, qi is similar to the word energy. A more traditional explanation of qi as it relates to understanding of local environments, the orientation of buildings, and the interaction between the land to the vegetation and the soil quality. An instrument that is used to determine the flow of qi is the luo pan. The theory of qi stems from the different beliefs from the axial age. One such belief holds that the heavens influence life on Earth. This may seem outrageous to some people, but scientists today now know that space weather exists and can affect some technology such as GPS, power grids, communication and navigation systems, etc., and the internal orienting faculties of even birds and other creatures. Polarity. Polarity is another theory used in the practice of Feng Shui. It is expressed in Feng Shui as the yin and yang theory. Polarity that is expressed through yin and yang can be compared to a bipolar magnetic field. It is made up of two forces, one creating a force and one receiving it. Yang is the force acting and yin is receiving. This interaction is considered as an early understanding of chirality. The Yang theory and connected to another theory called the five-phase theory or five-element theory. The so-called five elements of Feng Shui are water, wood, fire, earth or soil, and metal. These elements are said to be composed of yin and yang in precise amounts. The interaction between the two forces became the foundation for the practice of Feng Shui and how it is said to strive to achieve balance. Bagua. The two ancient diagrams that are known as the Bagua are common fixtures in the practice in Feng Shui. They can be compared to the cardinal points of the compass today. The Bagua diagrams are also linked with the Feng or four directions method of divination that was popularly used during the Shang dynasty, although the Feng is considered to be much older. It was also known to be used at Neelian as well as a big fixture in the Hongshan culture's practice of astronomy. And it is in this area of China that can be connected to Huangdi, who was also known as the Yellow Emperor. It was Huangdi who was known to have invented the south-pointing spoon. The cardinal directions that contained in the Bagua diagram are said to be determined by the marker stars of the mega constellations known as the four celestial animals. The east is considered to be the blue-green dragon. The south is the red bird. The west is also known to be the white tiger, while the north stood for the dark turtle. These Feng Shui theories also loom large even in today's practice of trying to achieve a good balance in the environment as well as the lives of people. Profiles of Feng Shui enthusiasts. Feng Shui enthusiasts have different niches. Different personalities and cultural backgrounds are incorporated into the Feng Shui attempts. The good thing is that you do not have to limit yourself to a certain make to be able to apply Feng Shui. However, it may do you a lot of good if you are able to find the groups of people who have the same interests as yours as far as Feng Shui is concerned. If you are after the more rigid type of the loose application of Feng Shui, these are all possible depending on your preference, for Feng Shui is really all a matter of channeling the right energy to make the environment work to your benefit. The best thing about Feng Shui is that it attracts a huge variety of people. You don't even have to look too far and you will easily find a person who is into Feng Shui. And with the many challenges facing the world today, it is understandable that we seek help in various places, including Feng Shui aid. But different persons breed different motivations for applying Feng Shui, and here are some of the profiles of people who engage in Feng Shui. The business tycoon. The business tycoon is completely focused in profits. He or she will be most likely to ponder positioning and orientation of his office building in relation to the directions of prosperity. He may even alter the numbers of his landline and address, if at all possible, to tailor to the lucky numbers for a given season. But more often than not, the business tycoon won't have time to think all about these things and will be most likely to hire a Feng Shui expert to do it all under his approval. Big-time business people who like Feng Shui can afford the most expensive form of Feng Shui help there is and actually uses the profit to leverage in more profits with proper design and good Feng Shui. The pad-owning bachelor and bachelorette. The bachelor's priorities include adjusting to the adult world, getting financial stability and having fun socially. Typically, they are the ones who buy Feng Shui charms, remove flowers in the bedroom to avoid unfaithfulness in relationships. Fun-loving and modern, they may find that they are heavy on electronic or metal objects and may opt to balance it with a Zen fountain or two. The housewife. The housewife is the one who pours through magazines and seeks out Feng Shui tips online and offline. She may also derive the techniques from other fellow housewives and friends within the neighborhood. Her common focus on Feng Shui would most likely be oriented on home and family matters. The housewife who likes Feng Shui is most likely into interior designing of home, whether on an amateur or a professional level. The striving employee. The striving employee who likes Feng Shui aims to make a miniature balance of earth elements in his cubicle. This may involve him or her putting a small mirror for water, a jacket to ward off the excessive metal and the corporate workplace, and many others. The striving employee may also invite relaxation and peace of mind by means of a plant ornament or any lovely fixture that doubles as a Feng Shui charm and a form of aesthetic display. The golden ratio and Feng Shui. Since Feng Shui deals with balance, it is not far off to discuss the matters about the golden ratio. The golden ratio is one of the precepts that govern Feng Shui. This ratio is numerically described as 1.62. The Fibonacci numbers that we know today are also directly linked to the golden ratio. When you divide a certain term in a Fibonacci sequence with the number prior to it, you will find that it approaches the value of the golden ratio. Beauty equals symmetry. The beauty of objects may be measured by its closeness to the golden ratio. The symmetry of objects is the attribute that tells if a thing is beautiful or not. For the most part, people naturally love balance of elements, and for the Chi to flow, the golden ratio must apply. The golden ratio in history. The golden ratio is manifested in various works of art that have been lauded by the world as masterpieces. The genius in Da Vinci lies in the symmetry of his works that reflect the golden ratio. The drawing of the Vitruvian Man is a classic example of man who had the ratio of 1.6 to all over his body and was considered as a picture of perfection. The golden ratio in famous places such as the pyramids of Egypt also employ the golden ratio. The half of the bottom layer of the pyramids of Egypt is also a factor of 1.62. The golden ratio in plants. Even plants have distinct characteristics of golden ratio. They establish a Fibonacci sequence in the number of leaves. Even the eyes of a pineapple follow this golden ratio. Much of the things that are viewed as beautiful by the naked eye establish the factor that possesses the golden ratio in one way or another. The Fibonacci sequence can be more or less seen in the beauty of nature. Even human DNA has factors that are assimilative of the golden ratio. The golden ratio to facial features. If the ratio of your nose to your chin to the horizontal space between your nose and one side of your cheek is more or less the same as the golden ratio, you will find that the face is judged as attractive. In some experimental studies done by scientists, where they showed pictures of women to infants, the ones which had an impact were the more symmetric faces. Applying the golden ratio in your office space. It is quite easy to apply the golden ratio for establishing balance and good Feng Shui. Just make sure that the rectangular objects in your office follow the 1.62 golden ratio. You don't need a ruler to measure it on the dot. Just by looking at relative sizes between objects that practice the golden ratio will already suffice for giving good balance and Feng Shui to your office space. Applying the golden ratio in your home. The golden ration may be a bit trickier to apply at home than in your office. You might have to apply the ratio to different furniture in your home. Or, if at all possible, the actual room space must at least have the golden ratio in it if your furnishings are round or not viable for the golden ratio. Good Feng Shui is actually possible if you already have the golden ratio in your home or office. Feng Shui history. Feng Shui is the ancient Chinese practice of utilizing certain so-called laws governing the heavens and earth that can improve through what is called having positive qi. Feng Shui history is an ancient one and covers over 3,500 years. It is even older than the invention of the magnetic compass. A main portion of its origins may stem from ancient astronomy. The astronomical history of Feng Shui is evident in the ancient instruments that were developed in its practice. The earliest known Feng Shui instrument may have been what is known as the gnomon. This instrument was used along with trying to circumpolar the stars in order to determine the north and south axis. This was basically used in laying down early Chinese settlements. The ancient Yangshao and Hongshan cultures in China provide the earliest evidences of the practice of Feng Shui. As early as 4000 BC, doors from Banpo dwellings were aligned to the star called Yingxi just right after the winter solstice. This allowed the homes to be sited for better solar gain. During this era, the star Yingxi was known as Ding and had a great influence in trying to determine the appropriate time to build their capital city. This is according to records on the Shijing. Another example of the practice of ancient Feng Shui can also be found from the grave at Buiyang that dates back to about 3000 BC. This particular grave contains mosaics of the stars called Dragon and Tiger along with the Beidou, known in the Western world as the Big Dipper constellation. The mosaics seem to be oriented along the north to south axis. The presence of round and square shapes were also found at the Buiyang tomb as well as at the Hongshan cultural ceremonial centers and the former Longshan settlement. These evidences suggest that the practice of Gaitian astronomy, belief in a round earth and a square earth, was already present in the ancient Chinese society. One of the oldest instruments used in ancient Feng Shui were the Liuran astrolabes. These ancient instruments consist of a lacquered, two-sided board equipped with astronomical sight leads. The oldest of the Liuran astrolabes have been found and discovered from tombs dating from 278 BC and 209 BC. These ancient astrolabes show the cord-hook diagram and some those found even include the magic square of 3. The markings on these instruments remained unchanged, from the ancient astrolabe down to the first magnetic compasses. The practice of astronomy that bears a striking resemblance to many modern Feng Shui devices and theories were also discovered on a jade artifact found in Hanshan that dated at around 3000 BC. Ancient structures in China which included its palaces in the capital cities are all influenced by Feng Shui in their design and layout. The rules that were followed were written during this era on the Kagongji, or the Manual of Crafts. The magnetic compass was initially invented for the practice of Feng Shui and has been in use since its invention. Traditional Feng Shui instruments include the luo pen or the earlier south-pointing spoon or the zhen sen. This shows the extent of Feng Shui history and its long-standing practice in ancient Chinese history. Creating a harmonious Feng Shui home with colors. Color is something that Feng Shui makes use of in attracting positive energy into our living space. When you are planning your home's color schemes, you should pick accordingly to the kind of energy you need. This guide will assist you in choosing the best colors for you to come up with a harmonious home. Red. This is the color of fire, which represents divine energy. It is advised to use red with caution. Red is best as the color of small decorative pieces in your living areas, rather than with huge furnishings or wall color. This color brings confidence, joy, courage and passion into your life. Blue, creating a feeling of serenity. Blue is the color of the sea and sky. This color is best used in the east and southeast portions of your home, in the form of wall color and decorative items. Depending on the kind of energy you need, you might want to employ deep blue to promote sleep, or lighter ones to liven up the space. Yellow. Dull spaces with little sunlight will benefit from the color yellow. This is the color of sunlight, so it evokes a feeling of warmth and cheerfulness. It also brings the fire energy, but in a much gentler way than red. However, it is said that prolonged exposure to this color causes anxiety. Orange. This color is a brilliant choice for your living room, dining area or elsewhere where lively and playful energy is needed. Orange evokes creativity, one sense of purpose and bubbly conversations. This is also the color of choice for those who find red too strong. Green. Surrounding oneself by the green color of nature is refreshing and nurturing. This color represents the wood element, evoking the healing vibrations from nature into your home. It is best for those who need growth, peace and new beginnings. Having several different shades of green in the home makes the most of the color's effects. Purple. Excellent for spiritual and mental healing. Purple should be used in moderation. Experts do not recommend this as a wall color, especially in the east and southeast areas of your home, since it is a very strong, high-vibration color. Purple is best used in a meditation space, or go for lighter tones such as lavender in adding color to your room. Pink. The universal color of love. This color is perfect to soothe and fill the heart with love. Pink brings a very fiery energy into your life, especially when coupled with orange. However, too much of this color in one's home makes the residents tend to live elusive lives. Black. Although it may convey a feeling of heaviness if used in large proportions, black symbolizes career and sophistication. The color is best used indoors, in the form of furniture shades, frames, and other small decorative items. Black adds depth and definition to any home space. White. Excellent for use anywhere in the home, especially to contrast bright colors. White soothes the mind by filling it with energy of innocence, tranquility and a bright new future. However, try to limit an all-white color scheme in the east and southeast areas of your home. Feng Shui maintains that the colors used in our living environment is something that affects us physically, emotionally and psychologically. Picking the right Feng Shui colors in your home will attract the kind of energy that will work for you best. Simple Feng Shui tips for the home. Part of an ancient Chinese art and science, Feng Shui is basically concerned with the harmonious relationships between man and his environment. It is based on a Taoist idea that nature is alive and has energy in different forms. Many modern aficionados assert that Feng Shui is the practice of arranging objects, such as in the home, to help attract positive energy. The following are a few basic Feng Shui tips for the home. 1. A marble table in the house is not good for the career since it attracts work stress. A red sofa set too is often said to give rise to work obstacles and troubles. Replace that marble table with a wooden one, and that red sofa with any other color. 2. Have enough lighting in the rooms because light is an important source of energy. In dull spaces where natural light from the window is limited, Paint the walls with yellow, which represents sunlight. 3. The bed should be placed next to a wall. You must not also sleep in a way where your feet are pointed towards the door, as this has negative connotation. A mirror where you can see yourself in as you are lying in bed has to be removed, or covered with a blanket as you sleep. 4. The doorway should not be obstructed with anything, such as shoes and other items. A clear entrance allows the positive energy to freely enter the room. It is also advised that the seating is so arranged that anyone inside the room will be able to see the door. 5. Placing mirrors in the room help positive energy dart through the area. They amplify the amount of light inside the room. Mirrors also make the room appear much larger than it actually is, giving a cozy vibe. 6. Plants represent nature, and having yourself surrounded by them evokes the healing and nurturing vibrations of nature right into your room. However, dying or dead plants attract negative energy, so take them out immediately. 7. Make sure that there is no refrigerator, washing machine, dishwasher and even sink placed opposite the stove. Fire and water clash. This might stir up negative energies that may cause the family members to have disagreements with one another. 8. Never allow your children to sleep on the floor because it may cause them to get sick often. Ideally, positive energy flowing underneath the bed is beneficial. So it is advised for your children to sleep in beds with space beneath them. However, it is not recommended for them to use double bunk beds because the child sleeping beneath will get sickly. 9. The flowing of positive energy is generally interrupted by disorder or clutter in the room. Positive energy should be allowed to flow freely in the room, and from one space to the other. Clutter has to be removed especially from the center of your house, which is considered the heart of the house. 10. Keep your bathroom clean and the bathroom door closed at all times. Since you don't want the negative energy inside it flow outside. You might also want to close all doors in the home as you sleep, as it helps provide healthy domestic relationships and promotes health. For beginners, Feng Shui does not have to mean using particular tools to come up with a harmonious home. Sticking to the basic aspects is enough to attract the right energies into your home. Decorating your home with Feng Shui. Feng Shui is the practice of bringing good fortune by achieving balance between various elements. In the U.S., more people are beginning to consult Feng Shui experts in decorating their homes. For you to understand what they say, you need to learn the basic Feng Shui areas that need your attention so you will be able to decorate it properly. The first step is to draw a layout of your home. When you are doing it, you are noting down the north points in the house. Then it is time to work on the door. Ideally, the front and back door must never line up with each other. This is because, according to the principles of Feng Shui, energy that enters the house will just go out without bringing any benefits to the homeowner. If this is the case in your home, put a plant or any other obstruction with an angled throat rug to encourage a path in a sideways direction. To bring more energy in the home, bring in some light. This doesn't mean turning the lights on but simply opening up the curtains so the sun can come in. You should also add green plants since in Feng Shui, the color itself brings joy and happiness. Other decorative items you can use include mirrors, wind chimes and brighter colors. You can also bring good fortune to the home by putting in an indoor water fountain. This is because water refreshes sky. At the same time, you can throw in some goldfish, as this also encourages wealth. Just make sure to keep the pond clean and never let it stagnate. Red is a very strong color in Feng Shui because it is hot, passionate, rich and celebratory. You must use this color for a living room set because too much of it may bring restlessness, a burst of anger and overstimulation. If you want to use it only for details and accessories. When you note down the north point of the home, it will be easy for you to work in other areas such as the southwest area of the house. This area is vital because it will allow you to have satisfying relationships. You can do this by eliminating clutter and replacing it with symbolic items, ideally in pairs. Some good examples are candles and other figurines. Never make the mistake of putting wooden or green items here. As for your dining room, the best ones to get are circles, as this symbolizes heavenly blessings. The chairs should be even in number and comfortable to sit in. The decor should be simple so people will not get distracted and be more focused on having a good meal. Watch out for exposed beams. If there are, these should be covered up because it creates an oppressive downward energetic flow that may cause health problems and other misfortunes in your life. The other option is to have two Feng Shui flutes installed at 45-degree angles on the beam, one at each end. As for the bedroom, make sure that the bed is not directly facing the door. You shouldn't also place a mirror on the opposite side of the bed, as this could attract a third party into your relationship. Peace and prosperity can only be achieved by decorating your home with Feng Shui. You can start now with some of the basics, then get help if you think you need it. Feng Shui for different home areas. The Kai, a positive energy that brings in prosperity, should always flow freely through different areas in the home. The following are simple Feng Shui tips for the different areas in the home. The kitchen. The stove must be away from the door, but the cook should be able to see the door. If not possible, install a mirror. Never position the stove opposite the sink, refrigerator, or dishwasher. A clash of the elements fire and water is not a good idea. Keep your cupboard and refrigerator well stocked with food supplies. It implies wealth and abundance. Avoid positioning the stove directly in front of a window. Placing the stove to the side of a window is better. The bathroom or toilet. Never place the toilet opposite the kitchen. The Feng Shui fire and water elements will clash in this situation. The toilet must not be placed adjacent to the front door. Place the toilet somewhere far away from the front door. Avoid positioning the toilet door directly opposite the front door. This may lead to wasted opportunities. Place a huge mirror behind the bathroom sink. But never use the kind that is split in the middle, often seen in bathroom cabinets. Make sure that the plumbing fixtures in the bathroom and toilet are not leaking, especially the faucets. The bedroom. The bedroom should not be adjacent or opposite to a bathroom or toilet. If this is unavoidable, make sure you keep the bathroom or toilet door closed at all times. Position the bed as far away from the door as possible. But make sure you still have a good view of the door from the bed. At the same time, do not place your bed where your feet are pointed towards the door when you are sleeping. Mirrors should not be placed where they reflect your image as you sleep. Round and oval-shaped mirrors are ideal, but make sure they are larger than your head. Sleeping directly on the floor is not suggested, as it does not allow the Kai to flow beneath you. The stairway. Traditionally, the favorable number of steps in a stairway is an odd number. A spiral staircase is also a blunder because it confuses the Kai. The worst mistake that can happen is when the staircase leads directly to the front door. This leads to the loss of opportunities, and the residents tend to be always rushing, seldom settling in. A good way to slow down the flow of Kai outside the front door is to hang a wind chime on the ceiling above the base of the staircase. A heavy figurine at the floor level below may also act helpful. Lobbies and hallways. Hallways need to be free of impediments and are needed to be well lit. It should also be clear to anyone where they are to go next in the house. A nice piece of art may be hung on the wall to the end of a hallway. However, never place a mirror there, it will only reflect back the entering Kai. There should be no hallway in the house that leads directly to a toilet. If it is already there, just make sure the door is closed at all times. These are some tips to overcoming and preventing Kai flow problems, giving you a harmonious Feng Shui home. Enhancing your life with Feng Shui. The ancient practice of Feng Shui is one of the oldest forms of geomancy in the world and can be traced back as far as 3,500 years ago in ancient China. The word literally means wind and water, and this practice believes in the notion that qi or vital energy can greatly influence and improve a person's life by achieving balance and harmony in their surroundings. To apply this practice means having to recognize the relationships between man and the environment he lives in. The key to this practice is locating the all-important qi by arranging objects inside or outside of your home, or even your office space so that chi continuously flows freely in the space, thereby producing a positive impact in different aspects of your life. This ancient practice and belief is still being applied today, and here are some methods where the art of balance and harmony can make a difference in a person's life. Using the 5 phases method. The 5 phases method relies on the 5 elements or phases of fire, earth, metal, water and wood. These elements interrelate with each other through a creation cycle where fire produces earth, earth produces metal, metal produces water and water produces wood. Each element also corresponds to a particular direction, where water is placed in the north, fire is the south, east is wood, west is metal and earth is the center. The best way to apply this method is to make sure that your room or the space you live in has a balance of all these elements to produce good chi, otherwise too much of a particular element might go against the other elements and produce harmful chi instead. Using the flying stars method. Probably the most difficult method to apply Feng Shui is the flying star method, which takes into account the date your house or office was built, a detailed floor plan and the outside environment of the place. It is similar to having a birth sign in astrology, only this time it's your property's birth sign. Although this method can be complex, it is the most accurate of methods and usually done by master practitioners of the craft. What this method aims to achieve is to harmonize your space by finding out the best elements to enhance it and the elements that need to be avoided. Using the 8 mansions method. The most popular application of Feng Shui is the 8 mansions method, or the Bot's Eye. This method requires you to calculate your Gua number based on your birth date. This will help you determine your auspicious direction, because each Gua number corresponds to a particular direction. This method aims to find out which directions are good for you and which to avoid. It also helps you find out if you are compatible with that particular area you're living or staying in. Finding out the best direction for you and enhancing that space can help you become more productive in terms of career, relationships, health and luck. Feng Shui proof. Your life testimonies of the benefits of this ancient practice are many, and its effectiveness can be traced from ancient times, otherwise this practice would not have survived today. The concept is simple and everyone can benefit with some semblance of balance and harmony in their lives. It's just a matter of recognizing the value of Qi and making sure everything in your surroundings brings you peace. Feng Shui arrows. In Feng Shui, the term arrows refer to sharp objects that bring bad luck and negative energy. In a way, like an arrow, it cuts through all the positive Kai or energy within an environment. These arrows are inadvertently distributed all over the world, and if you are a budding Feng Shui enthusiast, it may be helpful to know what arrows in life you must watch out for. The arrow of staircases. The most popular arrow is the arrow from staircases. To locate this arrow, just try to find that space underneath the staircase of your home. From just standing there, you will already feel all the heaviness, not just from footsteps, but also from the energy that is being siphoned off in that area because of the staircase arrows. As much as possible, avoid hanging out underneath staircases or placing living rooms directly underneath staircases. In case this is unavoidable and you are cramped for space, you may have to buy some Feng Shui charms to ward off the negative effect. The arrow of complex architecture. Complex architecture may be lovely to look at but not necessarily good for business. If you are really after getting the most out of your buildings and inviting all the positive energy, avoid complex structures. By complex structures we mean architectural designs which have too many pointed edges, for example star-shaped buildings. All these arrows are actually detrimental to people who will be standing directly in front of these arrows. The escalator arrow in malls. Getting the right stalls from malls may be quite tricky, but here's a rule of thumb: avoid the stalls which are directly in front of the bottom step of the escalator. This is because all the energy and prosperity is being drawn off and invited out of the stalls by the negative arrow of the escalator. While people may think that positioning oneself directly to where customers can view the store as they light the escalator, it's bad Feng Shui and detrimental to one's profit. Arrows from attics. If you have an attic, chances are, you get the irregular ceiling shapes from the walls. Try to soften the arrows from erratic ceilings by hanging chimes and other charms of Feng Shui. The arrows from attics can invite more stress and carry over negative energy from the past, especially if you are using the attic to store up old stuff. Arrows from irregularly erected walls or walls that lean diagonally forward may be dangerous. If at all possible, avoid placing the bed beside the region where the wall leans. This is where the arrows will hit you while you are resting. There are other arrows in the world, and you may actually name some more based from your direct experience. Whether the exposure to arrows may bring bad luck forever or not, the practical side of Feng Shui avoids complications and wants a bright space where light can quickly come through. All the other invisible elements like the energy just follow suit. Despite the warnings on arrows, this is not saying that we must abolish arrows in our lives. The whole key to the Feng Shui concept on arrows is consistency and ability to put the arrows in a place where it can do minimal damage. The yin and yang of Feng Shui. Is Feng Shui really friendly for all genders? While there is no question to the fact that it can invite some positive vibes into your home just by the mere art of rearranging your furniture and the orientations of your surroundings, it may actually reveal so much more about culture if one takes a good look at it. For one thing, the yin and yang illustration is a very famous facet of Feng Shui. It simply states that opposites are necessary to be able to appreciate the beauty of things. You cannot appreciate the good without bad, light without darkness, and so on. This theory of opposites in balance extends to the elements of the earth, water, wind, fire, wood and earth. These elements are also in balance if good Feng Shui is present. Yin is often characterized with strength, viability and aggressiveness. More importantly, it is attributed to the masculine side of identity. On the other hand, weakness and femininity are interchangeably attributed to the yang side, the softer side of things. Is this really a good thing? While it has been maintained that it is a world for the masculine, the main precepts of Feng Shui are actually more tailored to suit male, establishing them as the strong ones in the spectrum of life. The Feng Shui concept is already organized in its scope. Any person you ask about Feng Shui may tell you its symbols, the bagua, the yin and yang diagram and the charms used by Feng Shui experts to cancel bad luck. However, the main concepts are not entirely original. The philosopher Heraclitus from Greece is credited for having first denoted the concept of having opposites. And consequently, psychology on colors and other visual media can also state some theories that are resonant with Feng Shui precepts. Interestingly, there are more women drawn to the Feng Shui habit than men, who may or may not be conscious that they are actually supporting a form of belief system that establishes males as strong and females as weak. But other than the yang concept, there is no other outward manifestation of this gender bias. Is it really a good thing to believe in Feng Shui and apply it? The answer is relative. It depends on the person who is asking and the background under which he or she is raised. If you are born in an open-minded culture which holds less restrictions on what you can and cannot do, the applying of Feng Shui may be a non-issue. Meanwhile, if you are under a movement that opposes the main beliefs of Feng Shui, you may have to make a more substantial choice of lifestyle changes. Feng Shui also has its yin and yang to speak of. If you are really intent on ruminating on the deeper aspects of Feng Shui, you may have to dig deeper beyond what you see on promotional materials and even hate literature against Feng Shui. For the most part, Feng Shui is quite harmless in nature and it does not really explicitly cause major changes in one's lifestyles or belief systems. But if in case you choose to be more meticulous, you may find that analyzing beneath the layers of promotion of Feng Shui that there is more to it than just rearranging furniture. The wonderful colors of Feng Shui colors affect people in different ways. By using the right colors, you can strengthen the elements of Feng Shui. These wonderful colors are divided into cool, which is yin, and warm, which is yang. There must be balance at all times because everything possesses these two components. Aside from in colors being cool, it also represents healing and relaxation. To give you an idea, here are the colors. Interpunct blue has yin energy because it reflects love. It also creates a feeling of peace and rest. Since it is the color of both the sea and sky, Feng Shui experts associate it with adventure and exploration. Among the different shades of blue, navy blue is the color that best describes intellect and wisdom. Interpunct black symbolizes money and income. It is great for those who are focusing on their careers, especially when this color is combined with metal. In Feng Shui, it is the color of emotional protection and power. Interpunct next is purple that lies at the end of the spectrum. In Feng Shui, it is associated with spiritual awareness as it is excellent for physical and mental healing. Interpunct white represents confidence, poise and purity. Feng Shui experts use this color in combination with gold and silver as it generates a calm atmosphere. Interpunct you also have green, which represents balancing, normalizing, nurturing and refreshing. It is the color of balance, harmony, healing and health in the emotional, physical and spiritual aspect of things. Yang colors tend to be fire and wood elements. It is these colors that provide you with positive energy or enthusiasm, and here are the colors. Interpunct yellow represents cheerfulness and friendliness. However, too much exposure to this color can be bad because it often leads to anxiety. Interpunct orange helps you strengthen your concentration, especially in times when your creativity runs dry. Interpunct tan or being represents the colors of the earth. It portrays neatness and helps conceal emotion. Interpunct lavender is the color of sexual indecision. Feng Shui experts believe this color suggests an ability to be manipulated. Interpunct maroon is one of the shades of red. In Feng Shui, this represents indecisiveness. There are other colors aside from those mentioned that represent yin and yang in Feng Shui. If you want to know more about it, do some research, as this is written in books and also posted online. As mentioned, these colors should be used in different combinations with other Feng Shui elements in order to balance the Kai. These elements are namely earth, water, fire, wind and metal. Each of the colors above represents one of these elements, and by making sure there is balance, you will be able to bring prosperity wherever you need it, like in your home or for your business. For instance, if you want balance in the bathroom, you shouldn't add the color black as there is enough water already there. Doing so will cause an imbalance, and surely you wouldn't want that to happen. The wonderful colors of Feng Shui can be used to your advantage depending on the energy you need. For you to achieve prosperity, you have to bring them into your home or office, not only in the colors of the wall but also the furniture and decor as well. Love, relationships and Feng Shui. If you think that Feng Shui is only good for your home or your office, think again. This can also be used for love and relationships. Here are some tips you should know. 1. If you are married or in a relationship, hang pictures of you together with your mate. 2. For married couples, place a pair of objects in the far right corner of the bedroom, otherwise known as the southwest corner. A few good examples are a pair of mandarin ducks or cranes, as these are symbols of marital bliss. Another is a heart-shaped figurine made from pink quartz crystal. 3. You surely have mirrors in the bedroom. If they are facing the bed, relocate them because it reflects the couple on the bed. Some believe that this will cause a failure in the relationship because of the entry of a third party. Believe it or not, televisions are just as negative as mirrors. Do get rid of it. 4. As for the bed, make sure that this is not in direct line to the door. This is because the dead take you with your feet first. It should also be accessible from 3 sides, as this will allow you to keep your partner. 5. You should always treat yourselves to fresh flowers, and once they wilt, replace it. Never put these in the southwest corner of the room, as this will clash with the element of romance, namely earth. 6. If there are any abstract, dark or sad artworks in the bedroom, take it out. These things encourage negativity when this room should be peaceful and safe for those who sleep there. You can replace it with a painting of peonies, lovebirds or silk flowers, as these represents love. 7. You must never work out in the bedroom because this represents hard work that is often a hindrance of romantic space. 8. Should the bedroom doors squeak, fix it because it blocks romantic energy from entering the bedroom. 9. For those who have toilets and unfortunately this is located on the southwest corner of the room, don't worry because you can fix it by hanging a 5-rad wind chime. 10. The bedroom should be well ventilated so old energy moves out of the room. 11. It will also be a good idea to buy yourselves a gift as this symbolizes your relationship. Put this in a prominent place in the room or the home so you are able to remember your partner. 12. But what if you are still single? Well, Feng Shui may also work for you. You do this by making a wish list of what qualities you want in an ideal partner and also the ideal relationship. These are two different things and when you write it, be specific. It may not happen today or tomorrow but one day, your ideal partner will show up and you can have your dream come true. Feng Shui can help you keep the love alive in your relationship by blocking out negative things and then embracing those that are positive. This may mean relying more of Yin, which symbolizes femininity, more than Yang, which is masculinity, but it is all good as this causes a healthy balance with the opposite sex. The history of Feng Shui. Feng Shui is the art of placing and situating a structure so it is in harmony with nature. Also known as Kanyu, cultural and social issues are influenced by cosmological, metaphysical and natural factors. To use this ancient technique, you have to understand the influence of cosmology on Earth. You should also have knowledge of how astronomy and astrology influence the placement of buildings. You also need to understand Confucian classic, the weathering process, the forces of nature, the magnetic fields and how these all influence us. If you think about it, that is a lot to study. The history of Feng Shui originated in the West Han Dynasty around 3rd century BC. Those who practice it believe that the earth is alive with energy. If people built a structure on a land that has revitalizing energy, then they would prosper. If this is placed in a site with bad energy, misfortune will occur. Originally, Feng Shui was used to help place tombs for those who have died rather than for building homes for the living. Back then, they believed that choosing a good burial site will bring peace and prosperity to those who remained here on earth. The instrument used to select the correct burial site was known as the lopan. This invention was traced back to the Yellow Emperor, where it is said that the Lady of the Nine Heavens gave him this knowledge. This ancient compass was called the hanshi and is described as a square base called a diviner's board, holding a bowl of water which floated the magnetic south-pointing spoon. The hanshi then developed into the lopan, and during the Song dynasty, this was used to navigate at sea. When this was brought to Europe somewhere during the 13th century, this was better known as the compass, which helped navigators explore the rest of the world. But going back to Feng Shui, if the lopan can be used to pick good burial sites, couldn't it do the same for erecting buildings where people could live? The answer is yes, and so this device was now used to analyze the orientations in relationship to the main door, the bed and the stove. Since then, both the rich and the poor incorporate this in their architecture. Archaeological studies have shown that ancient Chinese city planners were made in concentric rectangles surrounded by walls that were then surrounded by lakes, hills, valleys, gardens, courtyards and parks which were to enhance positive energy. As for buildings, these were constructed to enhance a healthy relationships between family members in the country. This is where Yin and Yang comes in, which this is considered to be the foundation of the universe. Coming from Taoism, these two are complete opposites that cannot exist without the other. For them, the left side of the building must represent Yang or the male force while Yin or the female force is on the right. Examples of Yang in the past included sunlit roofs, built areas and an elevation in the front. For Yin, there must be empty areas, shadow deeps, setback structures and elevations in the back. The history of Feng Shui was almost forgotten when the communists took over in 1949. If it wasn't for the masters who practiced it and shipped it out to Hong Kong or China, we would have never known it existed. Feng Shui made its way to the US only in the 1970s. Various articles and shows have focused on it, and people now use it to help in building a house or a building. Feng Shui symbols for prosperity and abundance. Choosing Feng Shui symbols need not be hard. You don't really need to stuff yourself with crystals, essential oils or other things that may not necessarily be in harmony with each other. The key to having good Feng Shui is balance, and you need to be able to have the qualities of balance to invite the good things and experience the pleasurable effects of Feng Shui in your life. There are many kinds of Feng Shui symbols, and you may have to orient yourself properly about these Feng Shui symbols before hanging any in your home. In choosing the right Feng Shui symbol, you must have some emotional relationship to the object you are using as a Feng Shui symbol. Some of the Feng Shui symbols are meant to provide cures for bad luck. The others are meant to supplement what is already inherently there in your home or office. The mood that you want to convey must be established right from the very beginning before you shop around for Feng Shui symbols, so that you will find the appropriate symbol that will fit your needs. Crystals. There are quite a lot of crystals available for Feng Shui, and familiarizing yourself with each one of them and their functions will help you acquire what you need to be able to invite prosperity and abundance in your life. When you are using crystals, make sure that you take good care of it and wash it regularly to avoid dust or clutter from overpowering it. Essential oils. Some of the more relaxing oil varieties include lavender oil, which is very good for helping you attain peace of mind in your environment. Essential oils are very conducive to providing a positive environment for your home or office. Just make sure that you use the right amount of oils so that you will not overpower your environment with too much oil. Also, for purposes of variety, have some stock of various oils so that you will be able to experience different modes of environment even by just changing the scent. Fountains. Fountains provide serenity and the element of water in the environment. If you have a fountain that is quite unobtrusive and physically appealing, place it in such a way that it will complement metal and not overpower your fire elements. Fountains complement metal elements, so make sure that you are able to position it with the metal elements in your home or office. Bagua and other Feng Shui tools. The right orientation for the Feng Shui bagua is also important if you are to use it in your home. The Feng Shui tools that you might need must also complement each other so that you will not find yourself in the middle of a clashed set of Feng Shui symbols. Chinese coins tied with a string are also another form of good luck charm. Animals. Animals are also considered part of the Feng Shui symbols. Some of the attributes of the animal being used is actually assimilated by the environment according to Feng Shui experts. The color factor. Color is also an important aspect of Feng Shui. The visual appeal must not only be derived on what goes with where, but it must also be grounded on the right colors you need. It all depends on the mood that you want to convey. Feng Shui tips for business. Feng Shui has not only been used for achieving harmony and balance in life and home. It can also be used to achieve success in business. Feng Shui and business go together, especially in the Orient. And in the West, some businesses have already tried applying the practice and trying to ensure success. Here are some useful business Feng Shui tips that you can use. When it comes to your store, how you design and arrange interiors as well as its exterior may affect the flow of good guy. First off, you should start by looking at your store's facade. In order to achieve good Feng Shui, your store's name, design and display should stand out. This is the result of good Kai flowing into your store. The strong flow of the energy can be created by a strong and clear presence in the environment. In terms of your store, it should catch the attention of a passerby through its attractive display, clean store name and good lighting. After you have made well with your store exterior, you then need to check on your interiors. When you come inside, try to take note of what part of the room that instantly take your attention. Are you attracted to look towards the right or towards the left? The location to where you are drawn is considered to be the flow of Kai inside your store. You can then make use of this idea to determine how you should make the good Kai flow through your store. For this you may need to create some pathways for the energy to flow in the same way that you would want your customers to explore and see the items that you are selling. The way you arrange your office space can also affect your business. This goes with how you place your office tables and chairs. It is good Feng Shui advice to always sit with a solid wall behind your back. It is not good Feng Shui practice to sit with your back to the window for long periods of time. In the same way, you should not be sitting with your face front on a solid wall while working. And because light and air flow greatly affects the flow of Qi in the practice of Feng Shui, you should also try to make good use of it in your office. Try to make sure that air has a means of going inside your office by trying to open windows. Try also to let as much natural light as possible into your office in order to create an area where good Qi might flow constantly. The positioning of your office furniture should also be considered so as not to impede this flow of energy into your office surroundings. Since most offices today exists in a sea of polluted environments, this would not be a good area for Qi to flow in. Air pollution in particular must be resolved by making use of different Feng Shui items that may aid in clearing the air for the good energy to flow in. Air purifying plants can be used in order to help clean the air inside the office. Other Feng Shui items such as essential oils, crystals and water fountains can also be used to cleanse or raise the energy levels in the office. Fame from Feng Shui. Do you want to be closer to fame? Well, it may not exactly be within reach instantly upon applying Feng Shui, but it can at least help open the doors to fame for you. Ushering in the mood that is conducive to fame is one of the things that Feng Shui consultants are paid for. But if you have a tight budget and just wish to try out Feng Shui for the fun of it, you may find these tips useful for inviting fame and opportunity in your doorstep. Famous Feng Shui Tip 1. Red in your atmosphere. Red is often attributed to good reputation and fame. So if at all possible, have a lot of red things in your atmosphere. But don't overdo it, as success may not be exactly attractive when under some form of overdose. Make sure that you are able to decorate your office or home in red with good taste, and don't make it clash with other furniture or things that you need to put in your home or office. The middle portion is usually the best place to have a concentration of red objects. Famous Feng Shui Tip 2. Fire it up. Fire is good attractor of fame and favorable reputation, so make sure that you have some elements of fire all over your area. Have a candle-lit area in your room, or better yet, pop your fireplace. This way, you will be able to fire up your reputation with it. Famous Feng Shui Tip 3. Put wood and fire together. If you have fire, it may also be good to have some wooden furniture to go along with it. You don't have to put them in direct contact with each other, because that would actually pose some hazards. All you have to do is make sure that you have a healthy balance of both these elements, for these are 2 elements out of the 5 that Feng Shui promotes you to have in your environment for a sense of balance. Famous Feng Shui Tip 4. Prop up your achievements. You may have some proof of achievement. Now, if you hang these achievements on the wall, it invites more of the recognition that you aspire for. If you are really very shy about your achievements, you can at least display it in another part of your room, without being too blatant about it. Famous Feng Shui Tip 5. Have a visual target or symbol for success aside from upholding the things that you have already achieved. It may also help you if you have some target of sorts, a symbol for your success. It is not just enough that you appreciate how much you have achieved so far, it is also equally important to look forward to things that you can still have in the future. Keep handy your symbols for success. It may be in the form of a sentimental pen if you are a budding Nobel Prize aspirant, or maybe something else that holds specific and special meaning for you and your goals of success. Famous Feng Shui Tip 6. Keep your humility intact. Of course, Feng Shui is no excuse for you to flaunt yourself too much in your environment. The best way to invite success is to maintain your humility. There are still other people who are better and smarter, so you do not have the exclusive right to be way above in the clouds. Clutter in Feng Shui. Part of having good Feng Shui is clutter management. If anything, Clutter is the biggest hindrance you can have for the best flow of Kai, prosperity and goodness in your life. However, few people are able to manage their clutter wisely. On a daily basis, we get tons and tons of stuff we won't be really using for a long time. Here are some tips for you to help reduce clutter and invite good Feng Shui. Anti-clutter Feng Shui Tip 1. Sort your mail as it comes in. Incoming mail is one of the top sources of clutter. All those bills are not just stressful if mismanaged and stashed somewhere in your home, but it is also contributory to clutter in your home. If you are really serious about getting good Feng Shui, make sure that you are able to screen your mail. Establish a system for sorting all your mail. And this also holds true for other papers you may be keeping in your home. If you neatly categorize them and throw away the ones you no longer need, you will be much better off. Anti-clutter Feng Shui Tip 2. Opt for daily cleanings then reliance on major general cleanings. A general cleaning schedule is good, but if you are still not in the habit of cleaning on a regular basis, you may still find yourself filled with a clutter problem. So the best thing to do when you are trying to apply good Feng Shui is by exercising your cleaning powers on a daily basis, not just on a schedule. It does not have to be too rigorous if done on a daily basis. You can just start with the cleaning per day, one area at a time to accomplish it effectively. Anti-clutter Feng Shui Tip 3. Clean as you work. While working on a project, clean as you go. This means that you will not just leave stuff lying around on the table as you do your work. This ensures that the workspace remains clean, and this also implies that you are open for more productive work in the future since the space is wiped free of any traces from previously done work. Anti-clutter Feng Shui Tip 4. Be generous about your stuff. Give away the stuff you don't need. This is a rule of thumb when it comes to cleaning up and freeing from clutter. Being generous involves giving away stuff you don't really get to use. What you won't use for a long time and collect dust may actually be an answer to somebody else's problems. Just make sure that you are not transferring clutter but something that can really be of use to the person you are giving it to. Anti-clutter Feng Shui Tip 5. Dust frequently. Dusting frequently helps keep your place clean. Dust, when accumulated, also forms the clutter which we are really trying to avoid in Feng Shui. Anti-clutter Feng Shui Tip 6. Evaluate your stuff brutally if at all possible. Have a peer to help you evaluate your stuff at home. What you may hold dear and refuse to part with is not just a sign of bad Feng Shui but may also be a sign of a hoarding problem. Aside from addressing your Feng Shui issues, the mindset on clutter may also have to be dealt with accordingly. Feng Shui Home Tips. Feng Shui has been an ancient Chinese practice that has recently become popular even in the Western world. It aims to strike up a certain kind of balance in a certain environment, making it more ideal for people to live in. This is the practice of Feng Shui that has gotten the attention of most people, particularly for use in their homes. Here are some useful Feng Shui home tips that you can make use of to make your home filled with that positive Kai. Your doorway and Kai. First off, you can start on your doorway. Doors should always remain free and clear of clutter. With this in mind, you should try to remove any slippers or shoes that may be lying around the doorway. In Feng Shui, it is said that Kai flows with the wind. With the slippers and shoes at the doorway, the Kai would bring with it the smell coming from the slippers and shoes into your house and cause sickness. The Kai would then go about the home interior trying to find water where it can stay. In the absence of such bodies of water like water fountains and aquariums, the Kai would easily be dispersed by the wind. Of water tanks and fountains in Feng Shui, water is said to be a repository of the energy called Kai. That is why it may be good to have one in the home. But positioning is also important. A water fountain or fish tank should be positioned in an area that would attract positive Kai. But the wrong or unfavorable position would also bring in the opposite. While good fortune awaits, wrong positioning would also bring in misfortune and bad luck. If you have noticed the latter happening to you after positioning a water fountain or fish tank at a certain area in the home, you may need to shift it to another location. Kai in the kitchen. In designing your kitchen at home, Make sure that you do not place your refrigerator opposite of your stove. These appliances can stand for fire and water. With the two clashing, it may bring family members to experience frequent disagreements at home. This also goes the same with the stove being opposite with the wash basin or washing machine in your kitchen. Feng Shui in the living room. If you recently have been experiencing considerable pressure at work, your marble table might be a factor that may be causing it. Feng Shui speaking. You can either try to work your way through the pressure, or you can remove the marble table in your home and exchange it for a wooden one. In the same way, color may also affect some things in Feng Shui. For instance, having a red sofa set in your living room may bring about work pressure, problems as well as obstacles. The color red that signifies fire just doesn't work well in some areas of the home. These are just some of the Feng Shui home tips that you can apply to make sure that the flow of Qi in your home remains on the positive side. Harmonizing with Feng Shui. Perhaps one of the oldest forms of geomancy in the world is Feng Shui, which originated from China more than 3,500 years ago. This ancient practice is literally translated as wind and water and is based on the belief that life can be greatly improved with the help of Qi or energy flow. This Qi can be produced by achieving balance or harmony through the use of the laws of heaven, which pertains to the study of astronomy, and earth, which is associated with the study of geography. The purpose of the application of this practice is to locate that Qi or that vital energy in your surroundings by creating balance and harmony around you. Here are some Feng Shui theories that can give you a better grasp of this concept of balance and energy. The power of Qi is everywhere, and the key is to find it. This energy is a result of interactions in the environment like the yin and yang and the 5 elements of water, fire, earth, metal and wood. This theory believes that the way you arrange your surroundings and position certain objects around you can affect your energy levels. It also believes that these energy levels can even influence your health, wealth, relationships and even luck. By properly organizing your environment, Qi can flow through the space freely and can create a positive effect to those who live in the area. The union of the yin and yang. The yin and the yang are two opposing forces or energies that work together, creating a unity of opposites. The yin is characterized as the passive energy that is associated with the characteristics of water, cold, peace and tenderness, while the yang is described as the active energy like those from heat, fire, excitement and speed. In other words, if yin is matter, yang is energy, and neither of them can exist without the other. The key to understanding this practice is to achieving a proper balance of yin and yang in our environment. Balance through bagua. The bagua is a popular Feng Shui instrument that is shaped like an octagon and is divided into the 8 cardinal directions of north, south, east, west, northeast, northwest, southeast and southwest. The theory of the bagua is that each of these directions corresponds to a part of our life. For instance, the north portion of the bagua pertains to one's career, while the south pertains to the fame or reputation of a person. The other categories of the bagua are family, children, prosperity, relationships, wisdom, and travel. The theory of the bagua also believes that each of the 8 directions pertain to a part of our life, and in order to activate the energy or improve a certain part of our life is to find the direction it corresponds to and make the Qi flow into that space positively. Finding the harmony, understanding and appreciating the art of Feng Shui is accepting that there is an existing relationships between you and your environment. The theories of this practice present information on how a person can achieve balance and harmony with the environment, which can have a great impact in particular areas of a person's life. Although each person has their own potentials in the area of health, wealth, relationships and luck, what this practice really teaches is how to enhance these areas for practitioners to make the most out of their lives. Links: Teachings of the Ascended Masters, www.dsl.org, Deliverance Ministry, www.demonbuster.com, free ebooks, www.ebooktreats.com.